Maybe a review for the 2015 movie Green Room. And like it says in the poster, it's the director of Blue Ruin. So um, so yeah, I've heard for years this is really good. Like I said in my previous review, of Blue Ruin, I'm a big fan of that movie. Um, I'd say I enjoyed this movie, but I do think Blue Ruin's better. Um, there's just some things in the third act of this movie that I thought didn't really make much sense. Um, but I think up until the third act, the movie's just like really good. It's like really intense. Um, Saulnier, the director, does a great job. He's the writer too. Anton Yelchin does a great job. Um, really good cast, and obviously Sir Patrick Stewart. He's great as kind of the patriarch, if you will, of this group. He's the owner of the property. It's basically like a well, let's say that they're fans of let's say German mustache men. Um, so the movie starts, and Anton Yelchin and Alia Shawkat, um, who I think was in that show, The Old Man. Yeah, I watched a few episodes of that. That was pretty good. She's a good actress. And he's there's some other band members, and they're like a punk band, and they're playing their music. But they're about to go play their music, and they like barely get to the gig. They're like siphoning gas to get there. They have like no money, and the gig gets canceled. And then the guy who's promoting them gets him another one, and it's like in a restaurant, and they make like $6 each, or like there's like 6.80 each. So they're not that popular, or they're not well known. I'd say. Um, I mean, it's not really my kind of music, but it's like I don't know, like hardcore punk or something. Uh, like a lot of screaming, and and then the guy who I think it's David W. Thompson, who's like the promoter, says, "Well, my cousin, I can get you a gig at my cousin. My cousin works at a venue, and but it's in Portland. I think it's in Portland, Oregon." So they're like, "Okay," and they were pretty pissed at the guy, but you know they need to do it, so they go there, and it's a gig at this place run by fans of the German Mustache Men. So um, I guess go into spoilers. I guess so. Macon Blair's in it again. He's in Blue Ruin. I really like that. I like him as an actor. Really kind of like understated kind of actor. Um, anyways, but yeah, overall, I like the movie. I think Blue Ruin's a better movie. I think it's more internally consistent. he said the last act of this movie, something's happened, and I'm like, well, why does that happen? Um, or I just don't buy some things, but um, so so they play their set, and actually at first a lot of the people there didn't like them, but I think in the end actually a lot of people liked their music there because they're all like punk bands, and they play their set and they get paid, and they actually get like paid the money they were promised. Um, I think they get like three, 400, $500, and they're about to leave, but then is it Anton Yelchin? It's one of them is like, oh, I left my phone in the green room, and he runs into the green room, and there's some other people in there, and there's a dead body of this girl, and this other girl's in there crying, and so he walks into that, and then the guy is like yelling at Macon Blair, and he's like, "Why didn't you lock the door?" And he's like, "Well, I didn't think they would go in there." So then this sets off a series of events where they're basically trapped in the green room. One of the guys, Erica Edelstein, pulls out a gun, and they're there in the room with that guy alone. And that actor, he looks just like what's yeah, like the new Hellboy, David Harbour. Man, he looks just like David Harbour. Like I actually thought it was David Harbour, but then I looked it up and I was like, oh whoa. I mean, he looks just like him. It's crazy. He's like big. I think he's bigger than him. And but anyways, he pulls a gun out, and they end up getting the gun. They rush the guy kind of, and they get the gun. And Patrick Stewart shows up, and basically they're trying to get into the green room. And at first he's like negotiating with them, and he's like, "Well, we'll let you go. Um, we just want the gun." And he's trying to be like the voice of reason. You know, he has this. He's British, and he's trying to bargain with them, and it almost works. But then one of the girls is looking like kind of under the door or through a vent, and she sees a bunch of other guys next to him, and basically they're gonna rush in there, and they're gonna kill them to cover up what happened. So they know too much basically. So so it sets off this. They're trying to get in there. They end up breaking into another floor below them. Um, but it's a pretty good movie. It's pretty suspenseful. Overall, I liked it. But I am like in the end they just kind of kick the door down, and I just kind of like, well, why didn't you just do that before? And it doesn't seem that hard to get into that room. It's hard to get out of it, but to get into it, you know, I don't know. The movie's like an hour 55, and I was kind of like, this could be an hour 30 easily. But it's a good movie. Also, like Anton Yelchin, like shaves his head in the end and puts like almost like Commando Arnold makeup on. And I was kind of like, well, how did he shave his head? Like, did they have like a shape like a buzzer in there? I don't know. I mean that's most people don't care about these things, but I'm just kind of like, okay, I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, it's a good movie. I mean, I won't go through the whole plot, but in the end, it doesn't work out for Patrick Stewart and his other guys, and there's a guy that has like a dog that attacks them, and there's some decent action scenes. The girl in the band gets a fire extinguisher and is hitting them with it, and I thought that was pretty smart. It's a good weapon, you know. Um, well, she's spraying the whatever flame, the anti-flame stuff on them. So, but yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of actors in this movie, and also in the very end of the movie, Macon Blair, like basically they win. Anton Yelchin and Alia. Actually, well, it's Anton Yelchin, Imogen Poots. I think, yeah, like they win, and Macon Blair is kind of just cleaning the place out because he thinks that his friends win, and they're just kind of like look at him, and he's kind of just like, okay, I want to go to jail, and I don't know, it's just and then they're like, well, you like walk in the forest and go find people and call the cops, and then she's like, if you don't, we'll find you, and it's just kind of like, how would you find him? You're not even from Portland. Couldn't he just disappear? But he just kind of turns himself in and tells the cops what happened. And I'm just not sure I buy that. Um, like he walks through the forest. Why doesn't he just like leave the state, just disappear? But because I mean, he's going to jail for a long time. Even though he didn't, I don't think he actually hurt anyone, but he's part of their group, their gang. So, um, but yeah, good movie. It's cool to see Patrick Stewart. I mean, he's not the lead or anything, but he's in it a decent amount. It's cool to see him in a movie like this. I mean, he doesn't really do that much, I don't think. I mean, he was in Logan, which is great, but I mean, I do have some problems with that movie too, Logan, but it's a good movie. I don't know. He was in the Charlie's Angels reboot. Really? Okay, I watched a couple episodes of Star Trek Picard. Um, he's in the multiverse of he's Xavier, the kid who would be king. He's adult Merlin in that. Okay, I don't know. That looks kind of bad, but I don't know. It's cool to see him in. I mean, is this movie rated R? I think it is. To see him in a movie like this, like it's an intense movie. Um, there's violence and I don't know. It seems like he does like the Emoji Movie, Family Guy. So I just wish he would act more, but I guess he has some health problems and stuff. So I understand. But yeah, it's pretty good. If you're a fan of Blue Ruin, especially check it out. If you're a fan of Patrick Stewart or Anton Yelchin, and again, Anton Yelchin unfortunately met a tragic death um, in 2016. I think by his own car. It's pretty sad. He was a good actor. He probably would have been pretty big. I mean, he already was pretty big, but he would have been, I think, much bigger. But yeah, I guess that's about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and that's about it.